All right, guys. So the Stihl rep for our region reached out to me and asked me to review and give the new what is this thing? The new Stihl 220TC a go. And so we've been using it a little bit. Here it is. This one has the what is it? The AP500S battery in it. I understand that's a little bit larger as far as amp hours and stuff goes. This is the MSA 220TC, and I gotta say it's like pretty powerful. I don't have a problem with that. This one's got a light bar on it. Even with the light bar, it is kind of heavy. So that's, indicative and typical of most battery operated saws. It's pretty well balanced though. I don't have any problems with it feeling like it's like gonna tip over. I mean, it's, I can do like one finger and it's super balanced. It is heavy. That's the biggest thing for me, is just it's heavy. I don't have a problem with like the size of it. It feels very similar to like a 201 or something like that, maybe slightly bigger in the body, but it's pretty good. I do like, of course, with the electric chainsaws, how you don't have to crank them each time. One weird thing about this saw though is how quickly it goes off. So you hit the button, you can't even see that, but the green light is flashing there. So it's ready to go, but see, it already went off. So like, it won't run. You have to hit the button, go, stop, and it already went off again. So I have to hit the button. If you wait like, I don't know how many seconds that is, like 3 seconds or something. There might be a setting to make that change, but I haven't figured it out. So it is kind of annoying that I'm like getting ready to make a cut, and maybe I make the face cut and then I'm ready to make the back cut. And if you're like in between wind gusts or something, you're trying to do it really quick and time it, and if you forget to hit that button, it won't go. The problem isn't so much the fact that you have to hit the button. The problem is that you forget that you need to hit the button, because like, at least when you're running a gas powered chainsaw, if it's not running, like there's no chainsaw sound, so you have to hit the button to make it. I mean, you have to crank it to run. But this one, you don't hear a sound at all, and you have to look down and make sure. And so it's just a little quirk of it. The other thing about it is not a Stihl issue. This is with all the chainsaws that I've had that are electric. I actually have the Makita top handle electric, and I've also had the 540 Li XP. I haven't tried the newest Husky, but they all seem to clutch out real easy. So like, if you're in a wet, like this willow here, if you're in a kerf, sometimes it just won't start again. If it got bound just a little bit, you have to pull all the way back out and then get the chain going, and then go in with the chain going, which I don't always like, because sometimes I want better control than that, and sometimes I feel like it's gonna potentially kick back on me if I go in with the chain running. But it's not terrible. It's just a little bit of an annoyance. And like I said, that's something I feel with all of the electric chainsaws, but it actually does pretty good for power. I've got my climbing lanyard. It's got the little hook on the back, of course. So I've got the chain break off. I'm going to do something you never should do. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to do what I should do. I'm going to set the camera up, and I'm going to let you guys see me make a couple of cuts with it. So as you can see, it's not a bad saw. It's got plenty of power in it. It runs pretty good. We did this whole section of this willow, and that's about that much. Not equivalent to what's left over here, maybe a little less than what's on this side of the willow to be done. Doing some speed line rigging and natural crotch rigging and whatever. Cutting the big chunks off, those there, right there, and that one over there, which are the biggest. And it is still on, it was on 3 battery bars out of 4 before I did that cutting over there. So let's see what it's on now. It's on 2 now. We did actually use it for a few cuts the other day as well. And a couple of people at the climbing comp came up, picked it up, and kind of like messed with it. So they've run it, you know, turned it on and run it. But so with the AP500S, which I do know is a little bit heavier than the battery that usually goes with it, it is does run pretty well and holds a battery pretty well. So I don't know. Is it worth it? Maybe. I don't know. I'd have to play with it a little bit more, which is what I'm going to do. I don't think it's not worth it. If you like battery saws and you've not been happy with the other brands out there, it's definitely a competitor. It's not nearly as underpowered as the 160 was. The last Stihl top handle battery saw, which I couldn't stand. This one's actually something I would consider getting if I was going to get a electric saw, a battery powered saw. But you know, with the battery and the charger and everything and the saw, I want to say it's going to run you somewhere around $1,100 ish. And if you want an extra battery, probably closer to 13 ish. So kind of keep that in mind. They're not cheap, but yeah, it's not a bad saw. Has a few quirks and it's a little heavy, but other than that, seems like it runs really well. You have your oil input, and then you have your oil, oil flow there. So hopefully that helps you guys out, and I'll talk to you later.